Hello and welcome on board of an Airbus 319 from Brussels Airlines. Today I'm gonna make a video about how to start an A319 completely with a cool and dark configuration from the beginning to the engine startup. The A319 is not really difficult to start, especially if you have the Wilco one. It's actually the airplane that I'm gonna use today, from the A319 from Wilco. So the first things to do is, well, go inside the cockpit and you see that everything is dark. So let's start first by open the batteries. Battery 1, battery 2. Then when the batteries are on, you have to wait a little bit that the airplane wake up. You can start by turning on the master button of the APU. You have to wait a little bit that the APU is loading. I will also show in this video special things that I have on my FS game. It is AES. AES is a special add-on that works with mega airports. Mega airports are from Aerosoft, a special add-on that rebuilt completely the airports with really realistic stuffs like everything is completely rebuilt as the reality. But we AES, everything is moving, the jetways, the trucks, but you will see. So I have to set the parking brakes. So now the gate will automatically join the airplane. As you see, AES has a configuration for every airplanes, and he knows exactly where the door is on the airplane, so the jetway is gonna put himself exactly where the door is, because the Airbus 319 is configured in AES. So the game automatically detects which kind of airplane you are using. If you look here, you can see that it's an A319 that is written on the automatic signs of the gate. So the game knows that you are flying with an A319. So now you will hear the guy knocking on the door saying that the jetway is here. Then you can open the doors. And you can also open the cargo doors. Oh, no, that's wrong. I closed them again. Okay, now I open the cargo doors. Now you can open the window and ask for catering services and for example, the fuel truck. Okay, let's go back to the airplane now. Okay, after the airplane wake up a little bit, you can now start otherwise the external power. That means that it's the electricity coming from the ground, but it's available only in huge airports, not in smallest. So in case you don't have it, you need the APU. When here it's completely loaded, you can press here to start it. An APU is a kind of an electricity generator that is in the tail of the airplane. So you have to wait a little bit that it's loaded, it's not coming fast. Oh, okay, it's loaded now. So when the APU is loaded, your airplane is completely under power by himself. You don't need an external electricity supply. Okay. So here your airplane is completely loaded with electricity and so on. So you can first start by turning on the beacon. That's not really important, but it's still normally what pilot does. It's always the beacon that is open first, even if you don't taxi or start pushing back. Okay. When it's down, your airplane is ready to be configured for flying. So the first things you need to do is first remove this because it's annoying. Okay, start with the FMC, the computer. Let's start by the page init. You have to just check that it's the correct model, A319, yeah, it's from November 2010. So it's not really updated, but it's expensive to update it. But you can do it. Okay, the first thing we are gonna have to do is fill this line. So here it's where you put the OACI code from your airport you start, and from the airport you go to. So we are gonna do like we are going to fly from Brussels, because here it's Brussels airport with the special mega airport Brussels airport, so completely modelized. And we will fly to Lyon, for example, in France. Okay, I really do use this program, this route finder. You can find in that link, route finder as a link.net free. It's really a really good program to find your route. Flying to the south, so it should be 310. Unpair. Then when everything is full, you just find a route. You have to wait a little bit, it depends if there is a lot of requests in the same time. Okay. So route finder find automatically your way. This is all the point you are gonna go through until Lyon Saint-Exupéry. Here you have the shorted way, so all the way you need to know. So our SID will be Rousy, and our star will be Milpa. And this is all the way we are gonna use the UT27 airway until the point GTK. GTK is a VOR. You can see it because there is a frequency. Then you take airways UN872 until Poggle and so on until your final destination. Okay, you have your route. That's what you have to route in your flight plan. It's this line. Maybe remove this. So just from the SID until the star here. Not copy EBBR SID star LFLL, that doesn't make sense in the flight plan route. Okay, we can now go back to here. Okay, so let's put that in the FMC. EBBR, which is our departure airport, Lyon. You put that here. Then you align the IRS. The IRS is putting the aircraft, the computer is calculating exactly where is the aircraft with the GPS and so on. It takes normally in real life 10 minutes, but here I put it in 10 seconds. So, but in real life an airplane needs 10 minutes to align the IRS. But here it's quite fast. Okay. Okay, when that is done, you can put your flight number if you want. I don't know, I will put SN3242, for example. It's not important at all. If you don't put it, nothing will disturb the FMC to fly with. Then you put your altitude in flight level. The temperature is automatically calculated. Okay. So, let's start. EBBR, departure. Actually, I think that Brussels is using the 25 right for departure. So let's do like we have a 25 right departure from the runway. Then you select your SID, sorry. SID, it's Rosie, so Rosie. Then you need the charts, but I know that for departure of Brussels it's 3 Charlie. Okay. Then insert. Okay. Now you see on this screen that there is a green light. This is the green light that the aircraft will follow, according to the computers. Here you can increase the range of the computer. More you increase, more you will see, but remove airports, it will be... It can display airports, it can display the NBD, it can display the VOR and so on. It can display the weapons. And yeah, but it starts to be a bit blurry if you put so much. Okay, when that is done, you have the beginning of your flight already done. Your departure and your SID. A little advice is that sometimes SID or star are not correct. For example, Rosie 3 Charlie. If, for example, in reality it was 4 Charlie, it's not really a problem if it's in the FMC it's written 3 Charlie. It can be a mistake from the data. Actually, what is important is not the number, it's more the letter. It's a 4. If it's a 4 Charlie instead of a 3 Charlie, it's not a problem. If it's a 4 Bravo instead of a 4 Alpha, that can be a problem. You have to check that with the chart and the display here is actually the same departure. And if the airplane will follow the same SID as it's written on the charts. Otherwise, if it's not in your FMC, then it's better to do it manually by following the charts and the autopilot. Okay, when it's done, you see that the FMC had automatically the point between the runway and the SID Rosie. It put it automatically. It knows that between the Brussels and Rosie there is retax, Hull first, Ramba, and then retax, and then Rosie. So that's an automatic put-in. Okay, to continue your flight plan, you have to press on the last you had it, Rosie. Then you have some options from there. So, options, hold. It's to ask to the FMC to create a hold around the point of Rosie, but that's not really useful. Only if you arrive close on a airport. And that the ATC, Area and Traffic Control, asks you to make a hold. Via go-to, it's to add an airway and a point where to go with that airway, to follow that airway until which point. Next weapon is just put a weapon without an airway, and a new destination is a new airport actually. Okay, so let's go back here. So our first is UT27 until GTQ. Let's put that in the FMC. UT27 until GTQ. Okay, it's automatically added, Rosie, using the UT key 27 airway until GTQ. Okay, you press again next to GTQ. Go back to your flight plan. Then UN852 until Poggle. So UN852 until Poggle. Okay, again, and you do that every time for all the points. You use it Q4 Lazat. With a Z or with a S? S. That. Oh. It's UZ24. Yes. UZ24 till. Oh, clear la. That. So sometimes the FMC doesn't have it, so you just do that. You just put the plane as la that. Okay. Sometimes the airways is not in, but if you put the point, it's okay. It's correct too. You can do that. So when you put Lazat up, continue. Then it's UN852 until Mirgo. Mirgo. Ergo. Then UZ24 until Terzo. I guess you won't find it neither, because it's the same airway. What was that? Tergo? Terzo. No. Okay, so just Terzo. Yep, Terzo. Then UN 852 until Arpus. Then Torpa. Yeah, I don't take UZ24, apparently it doesn't know it. So Torpa. Next Weeben. Torpa. And then finally UN 852 until Milpa, which is our star. Oops. Milpa. Okay. When everything is done, you can clear the flight plan discontinuity. You will always have that. Clear, insert. Okay. If you know already the winds and so on, you can decide which airplane, which arrival you're using. So we'll use the ALS of the 18 left. You have the frequency here, 109.1 of the ALS, and you can select the star. So, for example, we will use the star MILP 1 Charlie. Up, insert. Okay. Your route is complete. Your route is complete. But not everything. You see that there is still here empty stuffs. It's actually what the FMC give you as best speed and altitude at this point. Why it's not full? Because we didn't complete this page here, the fuel. You just press here, it will be automatically put for the weight of the airplane and the destination. Okay. So you just press it, it will 2 times and it will be set automatically. Okay. So you see now that the FMC put automatically altitude, no, speed, sorry, and altitude. It's automatic. Okay. To be sure that there is not a mistake in your plan, you can just select here, turn this button until it's written plan. And then you move down your plan. More you move down your flight plan here on the FMC, the point will change. So it's Yule, and you can increase a bit the range. Okay. Then you see if the line is not making a circle or it's not going in the wrong direction. GTK, Pogol Lazat, Mergo, Terzo, Torpa, Morocco, Tutom, Bolgi, Milpa. Then here it's written, you have a D that's written here just above Balak. D is for the computer saying that you are in ILS approach already. Then you have the last points. Not down. CF 18 left. It means that at that point normally you should intercept the ILS. And then you have Lyon. So, as I said before, you saw that I didn't answer those points, Balak, Octocol. It's automatic. It's the point in between you are going. It's the point that you have to cross over. So when you put the information, the UN 852 until a point, it takes all the point that the airway cross over. So it's an automatic. So it's automatic. Okay. Oops. So you can move up. Arc function is almost the same, except that it's showing it a bit different. Okay, let's go back to navigation. This is the rules for VOR, if it's set to a VOR, and for the ALS here, display, but that you don't need until you have to land. Okay, well, your FMC is loaded actually. Ah, no, sorry. You have to fill this page, it's very important. On this page there is all the information for the takeoff. So I'm gonna use the configuration 10 for the flaps, so flaps 1, and flex 41, it's a default. Then the airplane will automatically calculate with that configuration the V speed, V1, rotate, V2. Automatically with the runway, the flaps configuration. If you don't put the flaps, the airplane won't be able to calculate it. Okay, this is, I don't really fill it, but you can fill it if you want. That you can read on the manuals of the Wilco if you want more information about it. Okay. So flight plan is done. Everything is set for the FMC. Okay. It's the moment where now you contact the ground to start pushback and so on. So let's go out again. Okay, the truck has finished to fill the airplane, so I can close the cargo door. Oops, that was the wrong door. Nope. Okay, that's right. Okay, now the cargo door are closing. Main engine is still open. I will ask for boarding. Okay, people has to be are boarding. You can hear the sound of the people boarding. Yeah, that's from AES. Okay, the FMC is ready. Let's put the information on the automatic pilot. Okay. So first you can change here if you want the QNH in the old format or in the new one. I actually prefer that one. Okay, 10138. Okay. If you click on the button and where there is those 3 lines, and this point means that okay, everyone is on board. I can close the exit. Okay, when there's 3 lines and this point, it means that the heading of the airplane is managed by the computer and the speed too. I actually don't let the computer managing the speed because it's not really good at it, so I prefer to do it myself. So when I will take off, I need to respect the speed restriction, and it's 230 TAS. It's in takeoff and low altitude generally it makes 200, almost 250 knots. So remember that's not the speed in knots, but the TAS speed. And the knots, it's always 250 under 10,000 feet. So 230 is good. If I see that actually the wind is strong, I can reduce it in flight if I see that my speed is coming too close to the limit. Okay, so I will let the FMC manage the altitude. Well, we are not going to take off it, just to explain what I put. I put here generally the altitude that the ATC gave me. For Brussels, generally they give you 6,000 feet for the beginning. So let's put 6,000 feet. Then AP1 you will put it when you take off and move up the gear. So yeah. Okay. Okay, now let's configure the airplane for a for an engine start. First thing to do is you have to put here the engine started in ignition start. When you do that, you see that this display changed. Now it's written the fuels and engine speed. Okay. Then for giving the energy for the engine, you need to start the APU bleed. Press here. You can put de-ice, but it's a bit too early. We are still on the ground and it's not cold outside. So you need the APU bleed on, otherwise the engine won't start on an Airbus. Okay, but we can't start the airplane because we are still connected to the gate and so on. So let's remove the gate. Oh, texture. Okay, I will ask for prepare the aircraft for departure. I need a pushback and it will go to the left. Okay, I'm waiting that the jetway is being removed. You see, the little truck is coming to push me. That's a really good add-on that I have. It's really realistic. When CLB is in blue like this and nav is in blue, it means that the computer will control the navigation. Okay, the guy is putting the truck to the wheels of the airplane. Okay, now I have to remove the parking brakes. They start pushing me. Okay, they start pushing me. Okay. Yeah, the sound that you hear, it's a little bug with the wheels. Well, it's okay. Okay. To start the engine, just easy. Press here. Just put some fuel in the engine tube, and you see that it's starting slowly here. Okay, engine 2 is started. Now you start the engine 1, like the first. Like the second, sorry. You see that the game is automatically putting you in the right direction you ask it, so to the left, and exactly in front of the runway. Okay, they ask me to put the parking brakes. Oops, parking brakes. Oh. Okay, he removed the little truck from my airplane.
You are clear for taxi. Please wait for my hand signal on the right-hand side. Right.
So he said that I can taxi when the guy will go to the right of the aircraft and say that everything is okay. Okay, everything is okay. Oops. Okay, here the computer is asking me to put all the configuration for the takeoff, which means auto brake on max, sides on, seat belts on, no smoking on. I can turn off the APU. The APU bleed, now it's the engine that is providing the electricity. Turn on the lights, beacon, strobe. Nose in taxi and runway and land off for the moment until the runway. Spoilers has to be in armed. Put the flaps on 1 as I put in the FMC. If you don't put it, it won't be accepted by the computer if you don't put it on the configuration like it's. That's good. Here the engine starters in normal. Then when everything is removed, you have to press in. You see that TU config is still in test. You have to press here. TU config here. Oops. It's normal. So the takeoff configuration is normal. Okay. So we can start taxi. Release parking brakes and start moving. Okay, well I hope that this tutorial was useful for you to see how to start an A319 completely and set the FMC and so on. If you want, I can make a tutorial now for the in-flight the in-flight tutorial, so how to use the automatic pilot and so on. And also for an approach, ILS or VOR, I don't know which I will use. But yeah, so if you want that I made another video tutorial or you want me to explain something better about the airplane and so on, you can ask me and I will answer or make a video if it's necessary. I wish you a good day or an evening or
New
night,
player.
depends when you play. Goodbye.